Hi guys, as a cameraman and YouTuber, I often get comments like, wow, that's such expensive gear you got there, or wow, look at that glass, it must be really expensive. But actually my production kit, which I will show you today, is not that complicated or expensive at all. To get things started, I obviously have a camera with a lens attached on it, which is the Canon 550D or T2i for the Imperial system users out there, the VideoMic Pro from Rode, a Frodo tripod head, which is the 701 HDB, a Valimax 8mm manual lens, and that's it. Some additional stuff like the battery charger, of course. I have always 5 batteries with me because it takes some time to recharge a battery, and I figured out by calculating it that I need 5 batteries to be able to continuously power my camera for a whole day. Another thing I have is a 16GB SD card by Lexar, and you heard me right, it's only 16GB. I like to focus on story, and it really helps me to just record what I really need because I have just so much space left. By limiting myself to a little bit of storage, I really put a lot more thinking into what I actually shoot and capture. Of course, I'm not a dumbass. I have some SD cards, additional SD cards, to be able to record stuff that happens unintentionally, that I wasn't planning on, or to back up my files from the 16GB SD card. Then there is a charger, a USB charger for all my devices, smartphone, etc. I keep my smartphone with me, obviously, because I have all my notes, all my lectures, and I don't know what else on this thing in the cloud, and I need to access it. And a power bank, of course, to power up my smartphone. I got a Leatherman. It's not really a Leatherman, but rather a film production tool and a red tool, which has a lot of wrenches in Imperial system sizes. So that's really handy if you get to a red shooting or a Alexa shooting or anything that has gear that was made in America. I'm sorry, in the United States. Because I'm able with this tool to screw around. That's basically what it does. Oh, I have an electric razor with me, which you obviously need if you're trying to shoot vlogs and stuff like that. If you have like a little beard or something, that doesn't look good. Actually, it looks quite creepy, especially if you can't grow a beard like me. So I always have that handy to be able to shave myself. And I have like a body spray with me. Because if we're walking with people, interviewing people, or just being anywhere around in the public, you need to smell at least neutral. You don't have to smell fancy, but neutral is very good. I got this tip from a friend of mine, which is Stefan Schech. You can check out his channel in the info card. And he told me on one production that I was smelling really bad, but I didn't notice it at all. So he just told me to put on some deodorant or whatever that is called, body spray basically, and the problem was gone and we worked together all day long. But it's very important that you think about how you appeal to other people if you're shooting interviews or even being on a normal film set, because you're stuffed in most of the times very compact spaces and you smell each other a lot. So if you keep track of that, that's a good thing to have. It's not a usual thing to talk about in a what's in my bag video, but actually that's one of the best items I carry around with me. And also 1 liter of water, just to have water with you. You never know when to use water or when you need to use water or when you're thirsty or anything like that. And additionally to that, I got a lighter. So that's the basic survival kit. You need a knife, you need a lighter, and you need some water. And you can be dropped off anywhere and will survive for at least 1 day. On my camera, I run Magic Lantern. That's an additional software which is not supported by Canon. But that's not a big deal because I'm out of warranty for this camera. So I don't care that much. And I needed to have the automatic gain control, which pushes the gain of the audio of everything that comes into it if you don't use that software to an equal level, which is terrible. If there's nothing to hear, the camera will push it automatically. Oh, that annoying clock was running. I'm so sorry for this. Bad clock! Let's go on. One note on my lens, I'm using a fisheye lens with manual focus because it has a wide focus range. It's like 1 meter or something, where it is it's not ultra sharp, but it's acceptingly, I don't know how to say this actually, but it looks nice enough to put on YouTube because it gets compressed, it gets uploaded, it gets viewed on mobile phones and compressed again. So I don't really care that much about ultra sharp images. It's about the compactness of the whole setup. That's why I use this lens. It's very easy. It's a run and gun setup basically. It's nothing fancy, but that's what I use. That's what's in my camera bag. In my experience over the years, shooting various films, feature-length films, short films, and all that stuff, and YouTube videos, obviously, I noticed something, and it's not about the size of your physical gear or what you actually use or have, but it's about the size of your skill bag. And I carry around a huge skill bag with me. That skill bag allows me to work with everything I could get my hands on. So basically, if I'm anywhere remote and I forgot my camera kit, whysoever, and somebody had a phone or anything that shoots video, I could make a decent vlog out of it. Even a short film. We did that as a workshop some years ago at the Young Meeting Camp. And I can't stress this enough. That's more important than any gear you could buy. To be able to operate that gear, to be able to operate in different conditions, to work around everything you have. Because a lot of people are tying themselves to technical boundaries. And if you do that and think, oh, I can't shoot this and that because I don't have X and Y, you're limiting yourself. And that's a big problem. So the bag you should carry around is not a technical, clunked full of physical gear kind of bag, but more like a soft skill, technical skill bag. If I had to redo my whole system, I would opt for a small, compact, mirrorless camera with a wide-angle lens and autofocus on it, preferably 4K. And same stuff, a lot of battery, not too much of storage, obviously, to limit myself again, and a decent microphone, which is smaller than the current one I have. That would be my ideal setup. Maybe I would add in a hand gimbal or something like that to stabilize the video way more in a more compact kind of way, because the tripod setting is quite huge and I don't take it a lot with me because it's just not working with my compact idea of the design. So most of the time I would be, give me a second, I would be filming just like this, holding it in my hand and being able to put some dynamic filming into my vlogs and everything I do. Repeat again, message being, you don't need killer equipment, you need a killer skill bag. And that are my thoughts and my bag. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye with V, your Kecke Erd.